Okay. How many of you guys in here play a sport? How many of you guys have gotten injured from a sport? So I wrote this speech about resilience and my story about how being injured has really impacted my mental state and my physical strength, I guess. When I was 10, I was put into dance. I started off as a ballet dancer. I was above average. I was definitely the most flexible, definitely the most strength, I guess. I put a lot of stress on my back when I was younger. I definitely got a lot of leads, did a lot of performances, did Nutcracker, but soon my back started giving out on me. It started to hurt really bad, started to hurt when I was walking, it hurt to lay down. I couldn't do what I love without suffering the consequences. So my family took me to the doctors, and unfortunately I broke some growth plates, which is why my height is a little stunted, but I continued to dance just very cautiously. But fast forward to when I was 17, I was part of the Chicago School of Ballet. I got lead in a huge performance called Sleeping Beauty. If you guys aren't familiar with it, it's one of the lead ballet productions that is held in Illinois. But because I was older, my bone structures weren't as bendy. I did end up dislodging one of my discs in my lower vertebrae. So with the stress of being injured and having a huge production, I was faced with the option between if I wanted to give up doing what I love, being at age of 17 and aging out next year without having a lead role under my resume, or just continuing to push through and see what happens. So I didn't tell any of my dance instructors what had happened. The only people who knew was my family, and everyone always told me, like, is it worth putting harm in your body doing what you love rather than just picking a different sport? So I continued to trade, and with 2 weeks have gone by, the pain has definitely gotten worse. But the show was coming up, so I just pushed through. The day of production, it ended up being really bad. Like, I couldn't fit into my costume because my back was extremely swollen. It was red, it was bruised. So I ended up just icing it and putting numbing cream on it, which you should not do if you know about injuries. But the play ended up going really well. I got a scholarship to the Art Institute of New York, full ride, but fortunately I had to turn it down because I know that my body couldn't keep up the stress that I was giving it. So I ended up just switching to the professional side of things, which ended up working out in the long run because some of you guys may have seen me without even knowing it. I've done stuff for artists like Lollapalooza, Sueños, been some music videos. So, and I teach professionally all around the country. I have a dance team based in Wisconsin now. So the reason I chose this to be my speech is because life isn't just a one-way street. Just because a door closes doesn't mean you can't open another one. Yeah. It was hard growing up and having people tell me, like, oh, like, you can't be doing that. Like, you're just gonna end up hurting yourself in the long run. It's not worth it. Especially when it's a sport, because not a lot of people will see like a future in it when you're older. Yeah.